The town of Hempstead Animal Shelter, with a budget of approximately $4 million, is one of the largest municipal animal shelters in the country and has been a lightning of controversy for years. The sheer volume of complaints that my office has received in the first month of my administration, coupled with pending lawsuits against the shelter, is deeply concerning. Residents have flooded my inbox with grievances. These grievances need to be addressed. The allegations need to be vetted. I would like to point out that I am not here to disparage some of the excellent work done by some of the great staff and volunteers we have at the shelter. But there are serious, serious allegations that make us need to inform our decision with independent investigators outside the town of Hempstead and to conduct an independent review of the shelter's fiscal practices, staffing requirements, and hiring procedures that will help us shed light on many of the issues that others find fault with. Ensuring our shelter animals enjoy a quality of life in a nurturing environment is paramount to serving the interests of the public and our pets. And it says a lot about who we are as people, because these animals do not have a voice, and they depend on us for protection. I have spoken to every member of the Town of Hempstead Town Board about these issues, and we all care about doing the best for our animals. In addition to this audit, we are exploring all options to address other issues at the shelters, including one option is planning to issue an RFQ, which is a request for qualifications, seeking responses from regional and national organizations specializing in animal care and sheltering in the case that privatization of some shelter functions may be the best option moving forward. It is my intention to move quickly but carefully in order to ensure that the treatment being administered here in our animal shelter is truly the finest anywhere. I would like to thank County Controller Jack Schneerman for accepting my invitation and taking on this role and responsibility of auditing a place that so many of us are concerned about, and for listening to the current concerns of so many in the town who are looking for a restoration of the public trust, a public trust that has been broken for some time. But we are committed to serve and to investigate every allegation and complaint so that you can have faith in the Town of Hempstead Animal Shelter. Thank you so much.
Good morning. I'm Nassau County Controller Jack Schneerman. Residents all across Nassau County have been crying out for real reform here at the animal shelter, and we have heard you. And now, thanks to the invitation of Supervisor Gillen, we are acting. Moments ago, we issued our entrance letter, a copy of which is right here, to the Supervisor's office, announcing our audit. I want to thank you again for that invitation. With me today are some members of my team. We have our Deputy Controller who oversees our audit division, we have our Chief Counsel, and we have our Chief of Investigations. Working with our professional audit staff, we're bringing together the right people for this job. Here's how the Controller's office can act here. My staff will focus on our audit on the finances of the shelter. That's what our auditors do best. We're going to get straight to the facts. We're going to move expeditiously. We're going to follow the money. That doesn't just mean reviewing line items in a budget book. We're going to analyze expenditures and hiring practices. When you have an organization that puts most of its resources towards salary, it makes sense to take a look at that. These practices have serious financial implications for the town. Let me be clear, I don't have veterinarians on staff. However, I do have auditors, and they're terrific. And the plan for our team has put together allows us to get right to work. Our auditors are going to look at the hiring practices and determine if too much money is being spent on people that are not qualified to do the job to which they are assigned. Any findings that go beyond our area of expertise will be forwarded to the appropriate authorities. I know there are staff members who truly care about the animals and their well-being, and I'm not here to point fingers or referee a political fight. This isn't meant to be a gotcha investigation. We intend on providing real, substantive recommendations at the conclusion of our audit. But we must make sure the shelter's finances and fiscal controls are sound, and all the employees here are qualified, trained, and able to do the job they were hired for. The animals in this shelter deserve our best effort to have the right people on staff to provide care and treatment. Moving this audit forward is an important first step in the town's overall plans to restore the public's trust in this facility. We want our findings to be a useful tool for the town to improve operations here at the shelter. Thank you.
Can you tell me how this audit will be different than the previous audit was completed that was shut down by the court for seeking performance review?
Sure, this audit is regarding the financial operations of the shelter. That case is on appeal. We're continuing that appeal. In the meantime, we're moving this audit forward based on the items allowed by the court as well as the invitation of the supervisor.
And Laura, can you tell us about some of the complaints that you received and maybe how many complaints you got?
Well, again, these are allegations that we are going to investigate, but we've heard about mishandling of animals. We've heard about improper staffing, and, you know, we're going to explore all of those.
Laura, I just got a statement from Erin King-Sweeney.
Yes.
She says that that your time would have been better spent speaking with town board members rather than holding a press conference. What's your reaction to that?
My reaction to that is I've spoken to every member of the town board about the animal shelter, and the complaints that we received. I had a very long conversation with Erin King-Sweeney yesterday about the animal shelter. I invited them all to attend this press conference because we should all be concerned about the problems at the animal shelter. And let me be clear, I do think they are concerned about the animal shelter, but by inviting the controller in to audit our functions is ensuring that every allegation is taken seriously and explored. And that's why I have invited the controller in to explore these allegations and root them out. Maybe some of them are unfounded. And if they are unfounded, then we need to know that. And if they have merit, then we need to address them. This is not a political issue. This is about delivering the best care for our animals. I believe that everybody on the town board shares that care that I have for our animals, and they should all be in support of this investigation.
Jack, can you indicate how you can separate the financial from the operational? Some of the things you were talking about, whether people were qualified, that seems to go into what the judge said you can't do. I mean, your predecessor couldn't do. He wanted to do the operational audit as well as the financial. Is there a fine line?
Well, first of all, I'm not going to comment on the details of the case beyond what I've already said, except to say we are thankful for the invitation here of the supervisor, and we're going to look at the finances as well as the hiring practices and who is doing the work and what their training and qualifications are.
Jack, do you have any authority in terms of making staffing change? I mean, making recommendations towards staffing changes if you find hiring practices or have been completed improperly?
Our role is to make recommendations to the town.
What about, Laura, these pending lawsuits? Obviously, they named your predecessor. How is the town, whatever you could say going forward, how would you handle these lawsuits?
I'm sorry, I can't comment on pending litigation because it is litigation against the town. We are exploring all options with the lawsuits, and that's all really all I can say about pending lawsuits against the town.
Can you say if anything has changed at the animal shelter in your first month of office?
It's changed because we're taking a hard look at it, and that's why they voted the controller in to make sure that all complaints are addressed. And there's been a very quick response to allegations of misconduct here at the animal shelter. And but again, these are isolated incidents that we're exploring and we're investigating.
Laura, while we have you here and we have your authority here, it's been very difficult to get any cameras in this shelter for the past 5-6 years. Are we permitted to have someone from the staff bring us around, or are we not allowed to do that?
I don't think we can do that today.
The challenge is that we have animals here that are subject to any cruelty cases that the DA is investigating. Yeah, so really we have the animals here in the hallway that you can see. But beyond that, the animals in kennels, many of them are part of ongoing cases. So we don't want them subject because it would compromise what's
It could
happening.
also startle the animals and
Yes,
upset the
exactly.
animals.
Okay.
You can look in the pens if they're any out there.
So we should
Right
call.
down.
Yes, of course, the hallway. Okay. Thank you.
Are you gonna?
All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you all.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.